Okay, guys, I'm going to attempt to screen share, so hopefully I'll do this right. There have been a lot of videos and discussions surrounding the 21-day fix and that meal planning system. And I just wanted to, number one, let you know that if you are using PiYo or Insanity Max 30, or if you're watching this after July 2015 and Shanti's new program Size has been released, and that's what you're doing, those all use the same portion control system. So you can take what we've been teaching regarding the 21-day fix and apply that to your program. Now, if you're doing something else like T25 or Body Beast or P90X, you can manipulate your macronutrients and your goals for that program and make it work with the portion control system. So if you want to try to do that, let me know and I can try to help you. Or Beachbody also sells a program. It's not a workout. It's just called Portion Fix Eating Plan. And it comes with the containers and the explanation of how to use that system. So it's like $40 though, and I don't want you to feel like you have to buy anything else. So if you want to try to do it that way, let me know. Of course, you wouldn't have the containers. You would just be measuring things out according to what fits in each particular container, like the greens container holds a cup, and I would give you all of that. Or the other thing that you can do, and this is what I have done with all those programs, is use an app called MyFitnessPal. So I just wanted to kind of show you how to set that up and use it to hit your goals for whatever calories and macronutrients your particular program is telling you that you should eat. And if you have questions about that, let me know. It's in your nutrition guide. There's a different calculation for every workout plan because they all have different end goals. So like if you're doing Body Beast, you're going to be eating tons of food. And if that makes you nervous, I get it. And you can maybe talk to me about backing off of that a little bit. You're not going to build as much muscle, and that's what the goal of that program is. But sometimes it's hard as women to wrap our minds around getting bigger and then in the end leaning out. So the first time you do it, maybe you want to back off from that a little bit. It's totally up to you, but talk to me about that. So anyway, here's how I set up MyFitnessPal. And what I did right now, because my account already has all kind of stuff entered into it, and I want to show you how to do it from scratch, I set up a new account under my husband's name. So when you're setting up the account, it's just going to ask you some questions like about how many days per week you're going to exercise. Don't worry too much about that because we can change it, number one. Number two, I don't track my exercise in MyFitnessPal because quite honestly, it throws everything off. And it's a goofy calculation when you put your exercise in there. So I only use it to enter my goals and then track my food so I can see that my food is hitting my goals. So here's how you're going to do that. And you can see that they already picked a number for based on my husband's height and weight. But we're going to go in here to goals. And under daily nutrition goals, hit edit. And let's just say that your Body Beast, maybe if that's what you're doing, your Body Beast calculation puts you at 1900 calories or T25 or whatever it is. Now, you're going to need to look in your guide and see what the recommended macronutrients are for your program. And if you have a question about that, let me know. For Body Beast, when you start phase 1, your carbohydrates are 50%, which they already have here. Your fat is 25, and your protein is 25. So we're going to enter that and save changes. Now, just ignore this fitness part here, because like I said, we're not going to enter any workouts into this. So now we're going to go to the food tab up here at the top. Now, all they have here is breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I'll show you how I set mine up. You've got to go back, nope, go to settings under the food tab. So it's food, food diary, database, blah, 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 settings. You can change the meal names. So I do breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, supper. I don't know why we called it supper instead of dinner when I was a kid. It's a long story. And then optional snack after supper, dinner, whatever. And you can change your diary setting too. If it's private, you're the only one who can see it. If it's public, everybody and their brother's dog can see it. Friends only is people that you become friends with on MyFitnessPal. So like if you wanted me to look at your diary, you could do friends only and then request me as a friend, and I would be able to see your diary. So do however you want there and save your changes. Now we're going to go back to the food tab, food diary, and we've got now breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, supper, and then the optional snack in the evening. So let's say for breakfast you're going to have Shakeology. You click on add food and you just type in Shakeology. Just to make it easier, I'm going to type in chocolate Shakeology because that's the flavor I would be having. Oops, it'd help if I could spell. And it will find all these entries that people put in for chocolate Shakeology. So they've got the vegan, vegan, vegan. I'm just going to go with this one here. I'm going to check the nutritional information because I'm kind of type A like that, and make sure that they entered it all right, because it irritates me when I find one and I notice that they just put in the calories and they're not tracking the macronutrients, so those are all zeros. Well, that doesn't really help me. So this is all cool. So I'm going to add that to my diary. Now let's just say that I like making it with bananas. I'm going to type in banana, and it's going to bring up all these choices for banana. Now, I would suggest that you get specific. Like this, you can pick, it's got it entered in grams or ounces. I do, if I'm like really trying to target my nutrition, I will weigh my food on a little kitchen scale. I don't do that all the time because sometimes I just don't care. But if I'm trying to lean out and get really good results, I make sure that I'm very precise, because really that's the best way to get the best results. Do I want to live like that 24/7, 365 days a year? No. So I don't do it all the time. It just totally depends on what your goals are at that moment. So like this one measured it a lot of different ways. This is actually pretty cool. But there's no, you can also look and see how many confirmations there are. Usually the more people that have confirmed that the nutritional information is correct, the more likely it is to be accurate. So sometimes I'll go through until I find one where there's lots of confirmations. That one has 3, that's not bad. So let's just say we weigh it and we're putting in 3.5 ounces, or maybe you're putting in 5 ounces, just so I can show you how to do this. So click on 1 ounce, 5 servings. That'll put in 5 ounces under your breakfast. Now, let's say you're making it with almond milk instead of water. So I use Silk unsweetened almond milk. And again, the more accurate you can be, the more accurate the results it's going to generate for you. So you don't have to scroll through and search for what you're looking for. And I happen to know that there's 30 calories in a cup, and so this is 15 per half cup, so that would be right there. So yes, that's accurate. Sometimes you can say that if you know it, and then it helps people to see that there's more confirmations there so they can trust it. And I would probably make it with a cup. And maybe I added some peanut butter too, or almond butter. Whole Foods, fresh almond Butter. That's a 2 tablespoon serving. I'm just going to say 1. So there. So I've got a nice hefty beastie shake with 406 calories, 49 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, 26 grams of protein. Now, here's a cool thing you can do. Go to Quick Tools and say, remember meal, if you're going to eat this a bunch. And put almond butter, banana, Shakeology, or however you would remember what that combination was. So then if you have that a lot, let's say you come back tomorrow and we're going to flip to Saturday and you're going to have that again. Now you go to Quick Tools. No, you don't. You go to Add Food, Meals, Almond Butter, Banana Shakeology. Check. So see what I mean? It gets easier as you do this, because as you start entering things, it's just going to be there. Let me skip ahead and say lunch. Let's say that we're going to make some kind of a recipe. Think of a recipe. Okay, well, here, first of all, what we have to do, you go to food, and then down here, instead of food diary, you're going to scroll over to recipes. And you haven't entered any yet. You can import them. This is a cool thing. So if you've got a website link, you can put that there. I'll try that for you in a second. I haven't really done that much. Or you can enter, that's kind of a new-ish feature, and I just haven't done it that much. You can enter a new recipe using the recipe calculator. Let's say you're doing like an Asian stir fry. And I will actually post this recipe at some point if I haven't already. And you just want, well, let's say you're making it to serve 4 people. You're going to do chicken breast. That has 0 confirmations. Going to move on and pick something else. 0. Is that brand? I thought maybe there'd be more confirmations for one of those. How bizarre. It has 1 confirmation. Let me look at it. 120 calories for 4 ounces is about right. 26 grams of protein. That is pretty close. So, let's say we cooked a pound of chicken. And now we're putting some brown rice in there. Two cups. And maybe we were lazy and we did frozen, mixed bowls. An Asian blend. I think those come in a sauce. That's not what I want. Okay. So I don't know how many servings are in this bag. Let's just pretend that there's 5 cups in there. So you dump in a bag of that, and then everything else is like a free ingredient, you know, like coconut aminos kind of taste like soy sauce, but they're healthier. So I use that in there sometimes. Ginger, you know, spices, whatever. So really the only calories are in these items here. So now, oh yeah, since we said that it's serving 4 people, so if you cook that all in a pan and divide it into fourths, 1/4 of that is going to be 279 calories, 30 grams of carbs, 30 grams of fat, 30 grams of protein. So we're going to save that recipe. And now you can just log it from right there. Today, lunch. Maybe I was a little hungry and I had 1.5 servings. Log it. Now the cool thing, the next time you decide you want to have that, add food, recipes, boom, there it is. So that's how you add recipes. You can save meals when you do combinations like this. You can enter recipes and save them. Let's try out for fun that little website thing because I have not tried that. Oh wait, you got to go to food and then the recipes tab to enter new recipes. So let me see here. My good friend Amanda Middleton will have a recipe for the 21-day fix. I just know it. You should check her website out, by the way, if you haven't. Eat clean recipes. Turkey duck bake. Talk to you later, Amanda. Thank you. Okay, so let's try this. I don't know if this works or not, but apparently we just take the URL and put it in here. And it says it's going to import it. Now let's see if that works. Remove any directions or other non-ingredients. Okay. Ah! I have a new computer and I haven't quite figured out this keyboard. Let's see how this works out. Whoa! Okay, there I did it again. Delete the directions. Match ingredients. Huh. 1 cup quinoa uncooked, 20 ounces, 80% lean. I don't think that's what she said. She said 93. So replace 93% lean turkey. $21 ounce. Check. Cool. So it replaced it. 2 cups tomato sauce. 1 cup prune puree. No. replace pureed broccoli. Oh, there's an ant on my desk. Gross. Interesting. Well, broccoli has almost no calories, so we're just going to go with regular old broccoli. Looks like everything else is pretty good. So that was kind of slick. Yeah, okay. Cool. So let's save it and log it. Today, supper, inserting, log it. So really, when you're doing this, it's a good idea to plan at least a day ahead. Go ahead and enter it so you can see if you're hitting your macronutrients, because what's really hard is if you just start eating through the day and then you get to the end and you go, yeah. Now, some people like to do it that way. They get to the end of the day and they see what they have left and they just eat according to that. But I've found if I do that, I end up with nothing but fat left. And I'm sitting there, well, not that it's a bad thing to eat almond butter off the spoon, because I actually kind of do that anyway sometimes, but you know, you don't want to sit there and necessarily eat all your fats at once or all your proteins because you neglected them throughout the day. So I prefer to plan it a day ahead at least, or however many days you can handle. Weekly meal planning is ideal, but I'm realistic and I understand that not everyone is going to be able to do that at first. So I do highly recommend it though. Okay, so here we're up to 1,400 calories already. You can see that we've almost used up all our fat and protein, and we have got hardly any carbs. So clearly I would need to go in and add some carby snacks, like, and you know, if you're looking at the Beast portion control, he tells you specifically like to have liquid carbs or whatever, and that's kind of some of the shakes that they do. I never did the Beast supplements. I wasn't trying to get that huge. I just kind of tried to hit the macros and called it good. So you can add some fruit. That has a lot of carbs, no fat, no protein. Oatmeal, sweet potato. You can look at the food list that we posted in the group, and anything that's on the carb or yellow container list or on the purple, the fruit list, and even the green veggie list, you're gonna have a harder time getting lots of calories with veggies, but it'll help you get your carbs up with few calories, and it's pretty filling. So those are some things to look at, and you just kind of fill in the gaps. And I'm not going to go through all of that because I've already made this video longer than I wanted it to be. So if you've watched this long, I applaud you. Thank you for hanging with me. And I hope that this made sense and was somewhat helpful. So that's the end of the MyFitnessPal tutorial. And if you have questions, please reach out to me or whoever your coach is, or just post the question in the group, because there's no dumb question. We've all had these questions at some point, and your question could help somebody else who might be thinking the same thing you are. So interact. It's great. We love you.